Hello there everyone, and welcome back to another video here on Branthwaite Productions. Now, so over here then I'm going to be talking to you about the latest update on my shopping mall. Now, some of you will notice that a few weeks ago this roof wasn't even completely on, so I didn't actually do the second or third floors, but now a few weeks later I've managed to finish all of the finishing touches to the outside and the roof only. But however, I've not done the second and third floors yet, but I'm still currently working on the first floor. So let's have a little look and see what we've got inside so far, shall we? So we've got the doors here, we've got 3 double doors come through here. So over here then we have the water fountain feature at the front with some stairs. We've got a disabled toilet in here. Let me add some lights in there, give it a bit light in there. So that's a disabled toilet at the front. Over here we have some shops. We've got some glass shops, we've got a carpet and curtain shop, we've got a garden shop, a television shop, and then the rest of the shops I've not yet added. Now before we have a look, let's put some potion of night vision on so we can actually see the whole thing. Right, so here we go. So we've got some other shops here that I'm currently working on. I'm still building them at the moment, which is going to take a long time. I've got some lighting at the moment. I made these ones on the right hand side a bit bigger than the left hand side ones, because these are going to be like food markets and that. And over here these are like little stalls and that where you would go for, like, you know, those little counters you see sometimes in a shopping mall. You get like someone with computers and that. That's what I've actually put. Over here we've got a sweet shop. So these are like the jars of sweets. There's the counter there. There's like a lot of jars of sweets really. And then we've got some more shops located on this side. Over here we have a first aid room, which is not yet completed. So over here this would be like the main area. This is where the office would be, and this would be like a treatment room if I was going to build it later on. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing later on. And then way at the back here we have got the customer toilets. So we have the male toilets here, you can see here, and then of course we have the female toilets here as well. And then over here we have the first floor office. So if we was to go in there, let me find that door. So if we was to go in there, the door would open, then this is where you would go. So that's a fridge and a freezer, some cupboards, got some ovens, and this is like different roles. So that's a health and safety officer would be there, and then the first floor manager would be in this computer here. And this is like a printing room where you'd print like all different types of documents and work. Yeah, and that's it really. And then this is like a button to exit through the door. And this is like a card reader where you would, like, people would go scan their cards and then the door would open. So yeah, so that's the first floor for the moment. Like I said, there'll be some other additions going in later on. And over here I'm thinking about building a coffee shop for the people who are shopping on the first floor, because it is going to be hard if I was to build like a restaurant or lots of cafes upstairs, which would be quite hard. So that's why I'm going to build like a cafe and coffee shop in this area here. So let's move on to the upstairs. I haven't decided what I'm going to put up here, but I have got an idea. So when we go upstairs, you will see here it's completely empty. However, I've got some ideas. This is going to be like a fashion area. So it's going to be like clothes shop, there's going to be hairdressers, there's going to be toiletry shops and that. There's going to be like all those stuff you would get, like hair stuff and beauty and lots of treatments and that. And this is just going to be like a fashion area where you would have like clothes shop, hairdressers, like I've been talking about for the past few seconds. And then I'll probably put lots of more clothes shops down here and just other different shops available. And then finally when we get upstairs, now this is where all the different cafes are going to be. So there's going to be like different cafes. There's going to be big cafes, there's going to be small cafes, and a few other shops where people can get food and that. So that's what's that's my idea so far, and it's going to take quite a long time because I've got to do the first floor, then I've got to travel on to the second floor, and then finally I've got to do the third floor. And I'm expecting this is going to take around, I say, till probably the end of the year to do this, because it is quite a lot of hard work to do. So I'm planning to get this done by the end of this year. So we're gonna leave the shopping mall now. Lots more work to do though, but I have made a good start on it already. And then I've got some benches here as well for the shoppers to sit on. And now we're going to move on. So we're going to move on from the shopping mall, and I've got some new additions already built. So if we look at our map, just going to go around. I don't want all of you to see it just yet. So just going to keep going straight. Now that is the apartments that I first did. So let's go straight over here, and here we are. So this is the start of my little public park. Now you will see here I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another one at the back. So 6 different areas I've actually built so far. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the basketball court. Now this took about half an hour to do because I had to actually like create the outside first, and then create like the circle and the goal areas and that, and to create the basketball baskets as well. So this is where the ball would go in, and then I've used webs to create the nets. And then this is like a bit of orange wool to represent the basketball itself. So it didn't take that long to do really. I really like the colour appearance of what I've actually done to this basketball court, and I think it looks really great for the start of my public park, which I'll be building in a few weeks time. And I've actually got to then do some pavements. I've actually got to build some other facilities at the park as well. I don't just want to have you know, sports areas where people can't buy anything to eat or go to the loo and that. So that's what I'm going to be building in the next few weeks. So moving on to the football area now. I really like football. I used to play it really good at school, and I think that's about what size my football pitch used to be, I think. So I think it used to be like a similar size. So this is where the ball would start. Obviously it would start in the middle here. So this would be like the centre, and then everyone will then to start running and then try and kick the ball. So this is where the goalie would stand or something. And these are like a few webs as the nets again. And these are just like, this is like the corners where the ball would go in that. So yeah, I think it's a really nice football pitch. It looks really good if you was to look straight down from a bird's eye view. So you can see here, it looks really good. It actually looks like you've got 2 doors and then some sort of circle in the middle. It looks really great, which I really enjoy. So moving on from the football pitch, we are now going to go on to the tennis court. Now this is probably one of my favourite ones because I do like watching Wimbledon in the summer, where all the tennis courts are all really good. And you can see here I've used leaves around it, I've used glowstones to make it lighter, I've actually used the actual colours of the tennis court itself, and then I've used net webs again to represent the net. So I've got like a chair over here where the scorer would have a look to see where the ball was going. And then over here I've actually got like a little bench as well where people can sit on and watch the match from. And I've got like one entrance here and then another entrance opposite. So that's the tennis court. So moving on to the children's playground now. So I've got 2 so far. So over here, this is like your regular playground. So you have like a seesaw, you would sit on there and then the seesaw would actually move. I've got a sand pit towards the centre where most parks have sand pits, but a few don't. And then over here we have a swing, and then over here it's like some sort of climbing pyramid thing, whatever you want to call it. And this is like a climbing frame where you would actually climb on from the bottom and then try and make your way to the top, which is really good as well. So that's the little play area. Now moving on to the playhouse. So this is like your steps. So this is where the kid would start. They would then go up here, then over here. This is like a fireman's pole, so if you was to go down here you would then slide all the way down, and there's like a ladder so the kids can even get back up again. So we've got a little bridge over here, but also I've added a little tunnel, which is a quick shortcut. And then over here I've built a little house. It's just got a light in there just to and then with a view. I'll talk about what I built over there in a few minutes. And it gives you great views of the other sport areas such as the football pitch, the basketball court and the tennis court. And then the last bit is actually the slide. It's supposed to look like a slide, but actually it's not. It's just steps, but I think it's actually, I could count it as a slide in my opinion. And then over here we then have the entrance as well. So then, moving on to the final excuse me, moving on to the final build I've done so far is this mini golf course. Now this took me 3 days to build this mini golf course, so I actually did it in 3 stages. So stage 1 was to build the golf course itself, build the holes, build the paths and build the actual course itself. So you can see here I've then done some paths, so build all the holes, which was the first stage, and then add some lights on it as well, which was the first stage as well. The second stage was then the theming and the planting, which you can see here. So the first hole I've got like some planting here, then I've got like some building, so this is like a little igloo, then this is like a little castle or fortress, and then this is where the ball would go through there and then back through the other side. And this is like a little desert themed area, by the way. I've also built a big tree. This is like some sort of jungle themed area for this hole. Then the next one is like some sort of volcanic area, themed area, so with like ruins and that. And then of course the last one is the Ender Dragon, and it's one of those holes that you would go in, and then you would use the put, and then you would then hit the ball, and then it would then roll in here, and then it will go down this hole. And then, you know, on most golf courses, on the last hole there's like a really big hole, and then it goes back into like some sort of container where they are collected and reused again. So that's my Ender Dragon. And then the third day, or the third stage I call it, is building this themed area here. So I've got like a little castle here, I've got a windmill, and then the actual plants itself. I then also added some water. I've also done the same thing on this first hole. I then added the ice, then the cactus, and then the lava, and then of course the actual Ender Dragon itself. And then I then added some trees around the entire golf course to make it, like, you know, make it really stand out. So there you go, that is what I've actually been building throughout the first part of this year. I hope you really enjoyed it, and to be honest, I think this is going to look great, this little park area here. And all I've just got to do now is build a few other facilities and a few little play areas and sports areas for people to be ready to be completed as a public park. So thank you so much for watching Branthwaite Productions. I hope you really enjoyed these creative builds. I've really enjoyed creating them as well. It takes lots of time and effort with all these builds, and it looks really good, and it's going to look really good, especially with the pathways I'm actually going to be doing next after I've done the entire area. So thank you so much for watching Branthwaite Productions, and I will see you in another video on the channel very soon. See you later everyone, bye for now.